Hello. You know what? We should have started with like the See No Evil.
Oh, we should have.
Okay. Hello, Facebook. Craig here from Theater Folk, and we are here at the, where are we? Florida State Thespian Festival. I'm here with Matt Webster, and this is the fabulous, I always call her the fabulous Lea Marshall.
I like to be known as phenomenal with an F.
Nice. I love it.
And true.
Yes.
How many kids do you have with you?
I have 46, but I know I have 48 because I just picked up 2 from 2 other troops in Tallahassee that are now staying with us. I'm an adoptive foster mom of other troop kids. Yeah. So 48 kids with me as of right now.
And we were talking to you a little bit yesterday, and you were telling us some of your management strategies for dealing with all these kids and how it is that you make sure they're in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
And you had some fabulous stories that I wanted to make sure that we got out there, because there's a lot of people taking kids to festivals and struggling with keeping them all where they need to be. So how would you start?
First of all, raise 3 teenagers of your own, and then you're going to have a good clue of some strategies that you need. Bring great chaperones. Bring chaperones that will leave a chocolate on your pillow at night. I have a chaperone like that. And anyway, but one of my strategies is what we call the night-night challenge. If you have cell phones, I mean, it makes our job so much easier now with cell phones. And I do tell my kids that they have to either let me be on Find My Friends with them so that I can track them at all times. It was what I told my own children. Be on Find My Friends so I can track you at all times, or tell me where you're going every time. And so they text their chaperone, and they're divided into chaperone groups. When they leave this building, this convention center, where am I going and who am I with? And you have to be with 3 people each time, groups of 3. That's if somebody gets hurt, 1 can stay with them and 1 can go get help. So 3 people at all times. It also eliminates little couples going off together, but you don't say it like that. You say it like, so you can get help. It's really all in the phrasing. So as we know as theater teachers. So anyway, and then another thing, the night-night challenge is at night in their rooms, I issue a night-night challenge after lockdown. Lockdown. It's not in quotes. It's lockdown. After lockdown, they think it's in quotes. It's not. And I issue it and I stand in the hallway because you should be in your room. You shouldn't be rushing to your room to now do the challenge. You're in your room. And the challenge is, last night's challenge was for their room, everybody in the room has to be involved. They had to film a 30-second brief video. Now, don't write brief on yours because some boys thought they had to be in their briefs for the video.
Once again, phrasing.
Is it was asterisk for unnecessary nudity.
Don't say asterisk.
Don't say asterisk either. No. We're just telling you how
this?
the kind that you need a night-night challenge. So anyway,
how do you communicate this to them?
Oh, I text them on Remind, all of them, and I say, night-night challenge within the next 10 minutes. Send me your brief. Don't say brief. Short, less than 30-second video of a better ending for any of the Twilight movies. And some of them were like, I hadn't seen a Twilight movie. I'm like, it's okay. You can have a better ending. Have a werewolf, have a vampire, and have an actress that doesn't act very well. Is she going to be watching this? Okay, anyway. So they sent me their improved ones, and then I go visit their rooms if they win, and I give them either some money for lunch the next day, or I give them a candy bar. They get to decide. Everybody gets a big candy bar, and they get that, and they get the prize that night, so they're all very excited. And then I do, I'm planning on making a little montage of all of them after. I also texted them, send me a tableau, a picture of one of the things that you saw today that you really liked. I don't know what tonight's will be, but it'll be good. I'll put it up on Facebook later, whatever it was. And so that just gets them in their room, in their pajamas. They need to be in their pajamas when they do this. So now they're in their pajamas, so they ain't going out again. And I'm in the hallway watching. And then I'm also in the hallway taking them their prize. So they know that for at least a couple of minutes, somebody's in the hallway watching. And so that's what we do is the night-night challenge. I know people that tape the doors and different things, but this is kind of fun. And when I presented it to them...
Well, and it's theatrical, too. I mean, they're performing, they're still creating, and...
Gives them something positive.
Yes. Well, when I presented it, one of them said, Miss Marshall, did you realize this is a great way for you to assure that we are all in our room?
Brilliant.
It's like no one ever thought of that.
Wow, no, I just thought this was a great way for me to give away money and candy bars, and I thought that would be super duper fun at night when I want to be taking a shower and in my PJs, but I'm not. Okay, enough. So
consequences.
Have you had any cases where kids haven't been in there?
No. Actually, last night, this is very good, and I hope his mother's... No. It was 3 kids
No
had asked
names.
me if they could stay later for something, and I said yes, past curfew. They had gotten later tickets, and I said yes. 2 kids from one room came up to me, and they had texted their chaperone, but they had not let their roommates know in one room. And 2 kids came up to me and said, Miss Marshall, we have a very serious thing. It was right after the challenge was issued, and I was outside in the hallway, and they said, this person is not in our room, and you need to know that. And I'm like, thank y'all for telling me he's fine. He's fine. He had texted me. He's texted his chaperone. They're coming back later. The other 2, I guess their roommates knew that they were not there, but this one had not texted his roommates. And so anyway, so the kids told me, and it was great. I said, but that's what you need to do, because that could have been a dangerous situation. So we have not had any problems this year. My kids know consequences are the first time you are breaking a martial law is...
Lea Marshall has a martial law.
Martial
I love
law. This gets taken from you, and you stay in your room the rest of the time. And I might bring you cold oatmeal with no sugar in it. Might. Maybe. But I don't know how I'm feeling. So, and that's for one person. You also will be kicked out of our thespian troupe for the next year if 2 or more people are... Because, sometimes you always got that one kid, but if 2 or more people are breaking a rule, then we will not come to state next year.
Whoa.
Solid.
Mama, don't play.
Well, now let me ask you this and follow up to your original thing about chaperones, having good chaperones. How many chaperones, what's the ratio that you try to have kid to chaperone?
Well, we had the ratio here that's required is 10 to 1 chaperone. But I actually had, at the last minute, a husband decide to come also with his wife. So we actually are over the ratio, and that's really great. And so I'm not even really considered in that as a chaperone, because I got to do things like film Facebook Live things. I ain't got time to chaperone kids.
She's got to come hang out at the theater folk
Whatever.
table.
Let the little people do that. So anyway, so they all have a parent chaperone that they report to, and that chaperone then would report to me if they had any problems. But they text their chaperones where they are when they go, and I made them a little map. This is the area where at the conference center you can be by yourself, and we're in a hotel right next to the conference center. So that's our home. It's the same as the rules for my kids were at home. When you're at home, you can be by yourself. When you leave this home base and go into the triangle area of Tampa Theater and Straz, you be with 2 other people, at least 3 people, and text your chaperone. If you want to go outside of that triangle area, you need to have a chaperone with you. I just took a bunch of kids to a bookstore, Oxford Exchange. They had a chaperone with them. It was outside the triangle area. So I explained that to them. But inside here, they can be by themselves, because I have some kids that want to do tech stuff, and they can't find 2 people to go with them. Or one that wants to go do this kind of specialty workshop, but they might not have 2 friends that also want to go. So you can be by yourself. And I know other troops do it differently. The troop, I'm new to this troop, and they did it differently last year and had to always be with somebody in here. And I was kind of like, I feel like you're safe in here. I mean, they're up here, so they're not going to hurt you. But, I feel like they're safe in here. But if I have a problem, I think it's like a kite, like you're flying a kite. As long as they're up and flying correctly, you're fine. Let the string out. But when they start to kind of zigzag back and forth, draw that string, reel them in a little bit, and take away
Tighten
some of
that noose.
take away some of that freedom, so that they realize, oh, it was much funner for me when I was doing what I was supposed to be doing and not zigzagging around in the sky.
Well, and it says a lot that their peers are also following up on them, because they understand the consequences, and everybody knows that there will be consequences for all if one messes up. So that's a really good way.
Well, and it's like an ensemble. It's like when you're putting on a play. If one kid doesn't come to rehearsal, or doesn't know their lines, or does something it's noisy backstage, the whole production suffers. And so that is, I said, I feel very, I know it's harsh if 2 people do something wrong, the whole suffer next year. Please, I don't get to come on spring break to the state thespian. Throw me in the batch. So I'm like paying kids, please be out of your room. Come on, be out of your room.
It's not curfew just yet.
You're not yet. Your watch is wrong. Daylight savings time, whatever. But so they know that their troop is depending on them to follow martial law. And I do reasonable. I feel like it's reasonable when I tell them it's for their safety. It's not because I want to kill their fun. It's because I care about them, and I want them to be safe, and I want them to leave with fabulous memories and having learned wonderful things and without regrets. And so memories and learning and, all of that, but no regrets.
Do you do anything with accountability, making sure they're going to workshops or they're going to shows, or is that dealt with keeping them in groups?
Most of the time when they come, they've come to do this.
Yeah.
And now I do have on my website, leontheater.com. And by the way, I bought it spelled in both ways, theater with an R-E and an E-R.
Good.
And leontheater.com. And I have under, if you want to go check it out, I Am a Thespian. And then click on State Survey, under I Am a Thespian State Survey. And they fill out this little bitty survey that says what workshop you went to, how much you liked it, and 3 adjectives to describe the workshop. And they've been sending me those, so they do have some data on what they're going to, what they like. And some of them are sending me like, check out this play, or check out this song, or I think this would be a good idea for our troupe, or this was fabulous, or this was horrible. So it just has, I think it has, describe it a little bit. I really enjoyed it, to this was a highlight, or this was horrible kind of thing. So you can check out that survey on there and see. It's Squarespace hosts my stuff, and it was very easy to make a little survey to put on there. So that's their only thing that they have to do, and they can do it for a 1 act, and they're just doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
Well, it also sounds like communication is very much a cornerstone of making sure this runs smoothly for you. You communicating expectations for them, them communicating where they are, them communicating what they've done and how they react to these things. Does that communication really make the whole project work and come together?
It's like anything. It's like a play. The more you're able to communicate your vision for the play as a director, it's the same here. The more I communicate my vision for, I want you to have a good time. I want you to be a better actor, tech, a better thespian when you leave here. Now, what can you do to be a better thespian when you leave here? And even our trip to like Oxford Exchange, it was kind of get away for a little bit, but I wanted them to see it's such a beautiful coffee shop. Google that, Oxford Exchange, Tampa. Please, I'm getting no kickbacks from them. Get a lavender latte, London Fog, when you're there. Anyway, but I feel like that, and I was talking to some of the kids, it's like a production. Like, it's beautiful, it's aesthetic, it tells a story with every detail at Oxford Exchange. The bookstore, the coffee place, the bathrooms, beautiful story. Beautiful in there. But it tells a story, and it's what I want a play to do, is for the costumes, the set, the actors, everything to tell a story there. And as we were in there, the kids were picking up books of some of the plays we've done together. Peter Pan, and we take a picture with them there. And we just did To Kill a Mockingbird, and we found a beautiful leather-bound copy for $85. If anybody'd like to purchase that for me, thank you. None of my students did. I did put it out there. But anyway, so for them to see the literature, and it was just a fun little field trip, but very intentional. It's also fun with a purpose, very intentionally fun, which is what I hope they're getting from this.
You're here with high school students, but you have taught middle school.
Yes.
Had you ever taken...
And elementary school and preschool drama also.
Did you ever take them on trips? Or is it different dealing with them on
We did not take a field trip with them. The state, a junior thespian was a little out of reach economically for the school where I was, and we did not. We went to the district level with them. I think it is very different with them. With them, you cannot give them that kind of freedom.
Yeah.
You really do have to. They need to be a lot more accountable to a chaperone with them there, and just kind of have them, within sight and sound at all times. Yeah, yes, very. That is where the kite is like, you drag. You know how you drag the kite along the ground and it doesn't soar and it's skipping on. That's more what you're doing at the middle school level, I think.
You're a little more of a traffic cop or a shepherd or something.
Yes, herding cats.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lee. Thank you, Matt. And that's us signing off from the Thespian Festival the Florida State Thespian Festival in Tampa, Florida. And if you are in the area, then please come by and see us. And Matt's here running the Drama Teacher Help Desk. Grab the sign, which will
It's going to be backwards.
But just imagine this, but the other way. Just hold your screen up to a mirror right now, and then you'll see what it's all about. But Matt's here, totally free service we're offering. Any advice, any issues you're having in your classroom, any issues you're having with your curriculum, Matt's here to help.
Management, production, come talk.
We got to go. I have some questions for Matt, and I need I need my Matt moment. All right, Krista?
Get a moment.
Yeah, and the one other thing is, there's another video on our page that I shot earlier today of Matt teaching some stage combat to a kid. It looks like he's beating up a kid, but he's actually actually doing stage combat. So
because they got out of line at curfew.
This kid was late for curfew, and that was what happened.
no chocolate bar. Okay, goodbye, everybody.